This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball EXCEL Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the game of the week in the Fall League, 1978 to 1981. We've got a series between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox, and tonight is game one of this series that we'll show you. Let's take a look at the standings in the American League East at this point of the season. We have the Yankees with just a half-game lead over the Orioles, and the Red Sox a game and a half back. Tough times for Toronto during this time. They really won't get their team going until the early 83, 84, 85 period. So it's tough sledding here against these powerhouses, as you would expect. But there is reason for optimism today. In a game one, here in Fenway Park, the Blue Jays will send their young phenom, Dave Stieb, to the mound. Good start for him. This is his 80 card. 12 and 15 with a 3.70 ERA and 243 innings. Very nice. I guess he's the first big Toronto pitcher until some guy named Halladay shows up. And for the Red Sox, it's Louis Tiant, 13 and 8 with a 3.31 ERA and 212 innings in 1978. From Fenway, game one. We'll show you this game, and then at the end of the video, we'll give you the results of the rest of the series. So leading off for your Toronto Blue Jays is Tom Poquette. 1-7 is a bouncer to second. Batting second, Asselstein rolls to second. Batting third, Otto Velez. 1-5. Let's take a look at Otto Velez's card. Probably the best card on the team. In 79. 15 homers and 274 at-bats with a 288 batting average. Most of that against righties, which is very fortunate. You see more righties than lefties. And yeah, Otto knocks it out of Fenway over the monster. Here's Tony Saleta, 1-6, triple on a 4, double, a double. We're getting the tee on. And now Roy Howe, one of the original Blue Jays, 58, skies the center field. Bottom of one. Dewey Evans leads off for the Red Sox. 3-6 is a walk. Yaz will bat second. 2-8 homer, 1-3 double is a two-base hit to center field. Evans, he will just stay put at third for the moment, as the Red Sox want to string together a nice big first inning here if they can. And here is Jim Rice. 3-11 is a walk. A table is set for dining elite. This is going to be Freddie Lynn. Let's take a look before he swings. More fun this way. What more do you want? I mean, he didn't win the MVP this year. He won, of course, in his rookie year of 75. But my goodness, arguably Freddie's best year in 79. 39 homers, a 333 batting average, 42 doubles, 82 walks, 1 minus 2 E6. He slices, he dices, he makes julienne fries. Freddie Lynn, all in one. Order now. So, here's the pitch to Freddie. 57 is a liner to second. It'll be Carlton Fisk. 37, a strikeout. And with 2 outs, Dave Revering. 47 is a K. The young Dave Stieb does not blink. Unfettered. Just lowered the boom on the Sox in the bottom of the first and left a lot of Sox on the bases. 6 socks, 3 pairs, depending on how you want to look at that. So, yeah. Rick Cerrone, 34, bounce to short. Mike Phillips, 69, a base hit. Rick Bosetti, 37th, a base hit for him to right field. Nobody runs on Evans, so he'll stay at second. First and second, 1 out. Alfredo Griffin, 68, is a single 1-2-12. Gets the 11, and now the Blue Jays load the bases with 1 out. Back up top with Tom Poquette. Let's take a look at him before he bats. So Poquette Nice little pickup here. Actually was a Red Sox in 79 as an additional player. 311 batting average, 180 plate appearances. But you can see his proficiency against lefties this year is very good. So he becomes an everyday player for an expansion team like the Blue Jays. And probably an upgrade on whoever they would have had. I don't think they had a 311 hitter in the outfield during this timeline. So, Tom Poquette, bases loaded, playing back for double play. Here's the pitch. 211, third B. He runs it out, beats the throw to first. We have a run on the fielder's choice. Runners on the corners, Ryan Hasselstein. 57 is a pop to second. 2-0 Blue Jays. Bottom of 2, it'll be Dave Stapleton. 410, pops to first. Ron Oster, 38, is a bouncer to second. And Butch Hobson, 1-6, is a K. Top of the third. Here's our boy Otto again. 2-7 is a K. Tony Soleta, third X. Hobson, not very good with the glove. And that is a single. Roy Howell, 39, right. And with 2 outs, Rick Cerrone, 64, pops to second. Tiants put men on in each frame. Into the bottom of the third we go. Dwight Evans, 6'11". Pitcher X, E6 pitcher. Oh, that's going to be a single off the 2 pitcher right there. Evans is on again. Yastrzemski, 6'11". First X. Soleta, not the gifted gloveman, a 40-14 as a gloveman at first. GBC, you got a runner at second for Jim Rice. 2-3, flies right. And Freddie Lynn. 1-6 is a K. So, 9 out of 10 batters retired by Steve after loading them in the first. Like, that's what we want to see out of our young hurler. Into the fourth we go of a 2-0 game. It'll be Mike Phillips. 310, hit by the pitch. Rick Bosetti, 64, pops to second. Alfredo Griffin, 412. Sky is the center. So Alfredo Griffin, he just doesn't walk. He doesn't get on base enough to put him at the top of the lineup until he learns to get on base more or raise the batting average. He'll have to stick at the dying hole. Tom Poquette, 69. Base hit to center field for Tom. Phillips will hold at second. Don't want to make that final out at third. 2 on, 2 outs. Brian Hasselstein. 67 off Tiant is a walk. They are loaded for our boy Otto Velez, who has a solo homer and a K to this point. Bases loaded, 2 outs. In Fenway, the pitch to Otto. Rather enticing left field wall, Otto. 53, left X, didn't get it. Too high, not deep enough. Jim Rice, looks like he's settling under it. What is he? He's a Jim Rice in a 3-4. Very good defense for him. And he cannot get it. It's a single dot. Oh my. Jim Rice cannot get a handle on that fly ball. And you have runners on the corners with 2 outs for Soleta. The fly's out. But these Blue Jays are up 4-zip. Trying to play spoiler in the American League East. Bottom of the 4th. It'll be Carlton Fisk. 2-6, base hit. Brevering, 52. That's right. Dave Staplegun, 1-6. Is a 6, 4, 3. Double play. We go to the 5th. Red Sox being tamed to this point. Roy Howell leads off. 47 is a K. Rick Cerrone, 110, base hit. Mike Phillips, 2-6 is a 3. 6-3, double play. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay. It'll be Oster leading off. 6-10. Center X. Bassetti's pretty good out there. He's a 2E6 in center field. He makes the grab. The Hobber, Butch Hobson, 1-3, rolls to third base. And with 2 outs. Dewey Evans, 1-9. They get him out. Swing and a miss, strikeout. 5 shutout innings for the Steber. 4-0 game in the 6th. Rick Bassetti, 49. Homer 1 to 5 double off of Tiant is a double. Now Alfredo Griffin actually will bunt here in the 6th inning with a 4-0 lead just to add. And of course, as soon as we do this, it blows up in our face. So yeah, this is why I don't like to bunt. This is why I don't like to do what I just did, but I did it anyway. Can't stand bunting the 2nd and the 3rd. That was just horrible. So the A-bunter bones that up. We got a runner at first now, and he's going to have to steal. And he's in there, though, on a 5. So now we still got the runner at 2nd. But there's 1 out, and it's Poquet. 4-10. That's going to be a homer if you have power, but you do not. So it's a single dot, and those Blue Jays get the run anyway. Very disappointing start for Tiant. Asselstein. 37 is a K, and with 2 outs. Otto Velez, 2 for 3 today. 5-10. Center X, make it 2 for 4. As Freddie Lynn gobbles that fly ball. 5-0 Blue Jays. A little frustration out of these Fenway fans. It'll be Yastrzemski in the bottom of the 6th. 56. These guys are right. Jim Rice. 1-6. Let's take a look at the Jim Rice card. You are not going to shut this team out, folks. Jim Rice's magnificent 78. 46 homers. How about this, folks? How about 15 triples and 25 doubles and a .315 batting average and 708 million plate appearances? Probably played in 167 of 162 games. You get the idea. But my goodness, folks. Triple 1 of 13 on 8. Triple 1 of 16 on 7 against lefties. Plus the homers. Whew. All that in a bag of chips. Jim Rice, Fred Lynn. Just, that's all you really need. And 7 other guys, frankly. That's out of your park. You got a 5-1 game. And if Freddie would have hit his, we'd be tied. But he missed his. And he's up now. Fred Lynn. 2-8 hits the column this time. Double 1 to 13 is your 2-base hit. And Steve's in a little bit of trouble now. Carlton Fisk, 4-4, pops to first. And Dave Revering, 69. Triple, 1 to 4 double. That's an RBI double. We got a ball game again. 5-2. Dave Stapleton. Let's take a look at Dave Stapleton before he swings. 1980 card. Starts great with the high floor, low ceiling, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't maintain this. But it's 321 and can play first, second, and third. And it's better against righties and lefties. And another good trait to have. Here's Dave Stapleton. The pitch. 2-6. That's going to be your double 108 double. And we got a 5-3 game. Your tie run is Ron Oster. Another nice acquisition. They lost Rick Burleson at free agency. They signed Ron Oster in it. So here's Ron. 3-10. Rolls to second. But we got a 5-3 game going in Fenway. Thing might be 8-7 by the time we're all done. Top of the 7th. It'll be Tony, see you later, perhaps. 57. No, we do not see you later. We popped a second. Roy Howe. 3-10. Flies to right. And Rick Cerrone. 4-10. Rick Cerrone. Oh, Tiant. Prone to give these up. A home run off the Tiant card. And it's 6-3. So I'm curious. How many home runs is this? It's a lot. It's 26 home runs and 212 innings. That's, yeah, you're going to have automatics on 4, and then a 1 to 5 and 1 to 9 on 9s. So that's what's going to happen. You got to watch that with this guy. That's why he's not a starter in 8 or 9, I'm assuming. 6-3 now, and Mike Phillips. 35, flies to right. Somebody hit the homer, didn't have power. Who was it? Was it Bassetti or Griffin? I don't know, one of these guys did it. So, could have been another run. Anyway, 6-3 game. Stretch time here in Fenway Park in Boston. We are enjoying, oh yeah, the Varga. We got Candio, 1978. I think it came out originally. This is the bonus stuff and remaster stuff. Let's go, Candio. Got a lot on my head. Yeah, great LP. Shooby-Doo. Isn't yeah. Great stuff from your Boston Cars. Okay, back to the game. Bottom of the 7th. Steve now given a 3-run lead as a starter 8 and the anchor of the staff. And the bullpen is spotty. Good at the back end. Long relief is a little Closers are pretty good. Garvin and Victor Cruz are okay. So it'll be Butch Hobson in the bottom of the 7th, leading off. 55 off Steve is this guy to center. Dwight Evans been on a couple times today. 53 right X. Oh boy, who do we got? Oh, we got Poquet. 2E16. Range when he gets there, he catches it. There you go. With 2 outs, it's Yaz. 1-9, Yaz with a base hit in the left field. And it's Jim Rice. Is he hot? He just homered last inning. Can he do it again? The pitch to Jim Rice. 2-6 is a base hit in the center field. Yaz will hold there. And the table is set again for Freddie Lynn. Missed a grand slam in the first. Stranded a couple guys in the third. Got a run-scoring double in the sixth. And he is your tie run. And Steve's going to go after him. Ill-advised, but he's going to do it anyway. Versus bringing in Baylor Moore or Jerry Garvin. I don't know. That's a lot of responsibility put on this young kid's shoulders. But Steve's going to go after Freddie Lynn. Here is the pitch. 66 is double. 1-6, single dot. And we got a 6-4 game. And it's Fisk. Cannot get this final out of the 7th inning. Gosh, you don't want to make the kid lose. So, you know what? I'm going to hook him now. Probably should have hooked him then. We're hooking him now. And that's because I don't want the kid to get an L in this. He can't lose. He's got 2 on base with a 2-run lead. I got to get Carlton Fisk out with a tough righty. And so we're going to go Victor Cruz. We got 7 outs to get. Victor Cruz was coming in. He actually played for Cleveland and Toronto. No, he played for Toronto in 78. Then he went to Cleveland. I think he played for Seattle maybe. I don't remember. Victor Cruz in the 7th inning with runners on the corners and 2 outs against Carlton Fisk. Now, the Red Sox need to win these games. They can't be sleeping on the Blue Jays when the Orioles and Yankees are at the top of the division. So they need this. The pitch to Carlton Fisk. 56 is a swing and a miss. Victor Cruz gets him some sidearm stuff. All right. Top of the 8th. Louis Tiant. You got Bassetti, Griffin. Poquet doesn't have power either. So, because these guys don't necessarily have power, they're going to let him bat, figuring a solo homer probably won't happen. So here's Rick Bassetti. As soon as I say that, 4-9, he's got power. As soon as I say that, 4-9, homer 1-5, double, gets the double. Oh my goodness, folks. It's a 2-base hit. Alfredo Griffin doing bunt now. No, I'm not doing it twice. I can't have that happen twice in one game. So he will swing away here. 45 is a walk. 2 men on base, and we got lefties Poquet, Hasselstein, and Saleta and Hal. We're going to go into the Boston pen now. Well, pretty lackluster day out of Louis Tiant, the ace of the Sox. We're going to go to this fine lefty they found in the Atlanta farm system. Larry Bradford will come in, taken away from the Braves into Fenway. He's going to come on in the 8th inning, a very talented left-hander. Let me give you his stats. Not a long innings. Larry was 3-4 with a 2.45 ERA, 55 innings for the Atlanta Braves. And after that, didn't do a whole lot. But he was good then. It'll be Tom Poquet with 2 on, nobody out. Pitch to Poquet. 3-12, third B. So you got runners on the corners with 1 out, and Hasselstein can't hit lefties. Well, he sort of can. He's got power. Let's take a look at the Hasselstein card. 272 hitter and 100 at-bats in 78 for also the Atlanta Braves. But on the bench, you got, well, you do have George Scott, another former Red Sox. Let's bring in George Scott. Take a look at him. George Scott's going to pinch hit. And he would take over duties at first. And Otto Velez would go into left field. Bradford, however, is pretty darn good against righties and lefties, so he will pitch to George. George is at the end of his line here. In 79, I think it might have been with the Red Sox or the Yankees at 254 and 370 plate appearances. But here is the pitch to George Scott. 6'10 off Bradford is center X. Fred Lynn's out there. A 1-6. You got a guy on third, so you kind of need a fly ball 8 if you can get it. And he gets it. Even on a 2. Rangy 2 gets the fly ball 8, which means your rangy 1, Lynn, does the same. So Scott cannot get the sac fly. Hits it in the center. It's not deep enough in the small park. And now it's Otto Velez with runners on the corners and 2 outs. The pitch to Otto. 46 off Bradford, flies to center again. Toronto will regret leaving so many men on base trying to get an upset victory. It's a 2-run game. We have a little bit of defense for these Blue Jays to bring in. Let's see. It will be Damaso Garcia will come in and play second base for Mike Phillips. That's the only defense they can. Bottom of the 8th, Victor Cruz continues. It'll be Dave Revering in the 8th. 66 is a K. Dave Stapleton. 3-6, homer 1-2 double. It is a 1! He hits it! Dave Stapleton hits the pesky pole somehow. It's a solo shot. It is a 6-5 game. Fenway Thriller again. Ron Oster. 1-4. Oster, let's take a look at Ron Oster's card. What a fun card this is in 81 for the Reds. A Reds team that had the best record in baseball. But, oh boy, they still had Concepcion at short, and I don't know who at second, but the Red Sox pulled some strings, got Oster to come to Boston to play short and second. And shortstop this year, probably second base next year. 1-4 is your double. Tie run at second, 1 out. You got Hobson, Evans, Yaz, Rice, Lynn. 5 outs to get. This guy's a relief too. Let's put 2 men on. I think, yeah, this time, yeah, you got to face the righties. Hobson. 4-4. It's just single 1-17 off of the Cruz card. And he rolls an 18! My goodness! Victor Cruz, the only hit on his card is single 1-17, and an 18 was rolled. Maybe that makes up for the 1-2 homer that was just hit earlier in the inning. But that is a big out with a tie run at second base. And now you have Dewey Evans with 2 outs, and Jerry Garvin ready to pitch to Yaz and Lynn and some other guys after this. So Dwight Evans. 1-4, skies to center field, a 1-run game. We'll go to the 9th. Batting for Soleta, the last guy on the bench, I guess, is Larry Cox. And Bradford will, well, come out. Don't need it anymore. We'll go to Bonson in the 9th for Boston. Nice pitcher, Bonson. Was actually with the Expos. 7-6, 3.07 ERA, 91 innings for Mr. Bonson. The pitch to Larry Cox. 6-12, pitcher. Roy Howe. 2-6, 1-10 base hit is the lineout. And with 2 outs, it's Rick Cerrone. 6-10. 6-10 off of Bonson's card. Another solo homer. A lot of that today. A lot of long balls. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. 5 Fenway specials. It's 7-5. Now it's Damaso Garcia. 53 first. So they're going to bring their closer in, Jerry Garvin, with a 2-run lead. And his defense is in there. And those Blue Jays, boy, they really need to win. They've had a really tough run. They have really little opportunity to win a division unless everything has to go perfect. And it's certainly not happening in that regard. So at bottom of the 9th, it's Yastrzemski, Rice, and Lynn. Sox are down 2. Here is Yastrzemski. 1-7 is a K. On the bench, you do have Tom Brookins, Fred Stanley, and John Tamargo, but yeah, don't need those guys. They often sit on the bench. So it's going to be Jim Rice. Nice day. 2 for 3 plus a walk. Solo home run in there. Pitch to Jim Rice. 4-4 off Garvin, and it is gone! Jerry Garvin surrenders a homer. It's 7-6. My goodness, what a game. It's a back and forth affair. Now it is Fred Lynn. The Red Sox have never led in this game. I don't think they've ever even tied in this game. Yeah, Steve is still the pitcher of record. Every time the Red Sox scored, Toronto extended the lead. But it's 7-6, and it's Freddie Lynn with 1 out. 35 is a fly ball to right field, and with 2 outs, the game's going to come down to Carlton Fisk. It's 7-6. With 2 outs the 9th, it's Carlton Fisk against Jerry Garvin. And here's the pitch. 2-3 off the Fisk card is a pop to second base. The Blue Jays have to sweat it out, but Garvin does enough to get the save, and they win 7-6. Woo! That was a great game for Fenway. And a great game for the Blue Jays, showing a little bit of spunk and toughness here. Bonson gives up a solo home run in the 9th. A hit and a walk off of Bradford. Everything else charged to Louis Tiant. Not very good start. 12 hits and the 6 runs. Good to see that out of the Blue Jays. Finally get some offense. We'll look at their team situation. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Garvin gets the save. Solo home run in a K. Victor Cruz came on in to face Fisk in the 7th. Struck him out. Gave up a solo homer in the 8th. So he gave up 2 hits, a run, and 2 Ks. And Steve did the rest. Does get that win. Did give up 10 hits, and he gave up the 4 runs in the middle innings after a great start. They were all earned. 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. 1019, 010, 714, 613, 3328. Pretty even all around. 17 base runners for the Blue Jays, 15 for the Sox. Blue Jays win by a run. Pretty straightforward. Game 1 in the books. Make it a little bit more difficult for these Red Sox to get into the playoffs. They got to leapfrog some teams here. So we'll take a peek at the year-to-date numbers for the 2 squads. Okay. Boston is now at 12-12, and that loss just puts them a full game back, I believe, right? 2 full games back. So 12-12 for the Sox. 271, which is fine. I mean, that's a great batting average, but it could be a little better. They have so talented. 4.42 ERA is about right, and with Tiant and Lee struggling, Bob Stanley's 4-0. Boy, he had a horrible year a few years ago. But he's 4-0 with an ERA of around 4.50. The hitters. Oh my goodness, folks. We have a magnificent performance by Jim Rice. 12 homers and 27 RBI in just 24 games. Hitting around 320. Dwight Evans has 8 homers, 22 RBIs. So yeah, the Sox are hitting, not pitching as expected. But really, it's not an insurmountable lead. They're only back by a couple to this point. We got a lot of baseball left in this series. And your Blue Jays get their 5th win of the year with 15 losses. Hitting a respectable 263, but the team ERA is an awful, unsightly 5.72. And that's a failure, folks. And they got some good pitchers here. So you could just say that the Orioles, the Yankees, and the Red Sox just want to tee off on the other team in the division, load up with everything they have with their offenses. But really, Steve, Grimsley, Alexander, Clancy, they're all very nice pitchers. Bullpen, Patton, Baylor, Moore, Cruz and Garvin you just saw. The failures, yeah, and it's all through the rotation. So young Mr. Steve got his 3rd win. He's 3-4, has 3 of the 5 victories for this squad, but his ERA is north of 5. 34 earned runs in 48 innings. Grimsley, 24-34. It's an ugly picture. Doyle Alexander, 16-32. His is 4.5. And dare I say, Jim Clancy, in 17 innings, yeah, he's given up 17 runs. So that explains a lot right there. They're just getting knocked around. And not a lot you can do. I mean, they're great. They're very good cards. I'll just read the ERAs off. So I said Steve, right? So Steve is 370. Jim Clancy is 330. Ross Grimsley won 20 games in 78 with a 305 ERA. And Doyle Alexander in 81. 11-7 with a 290 ERA. Not a lot you can do, folks. If the other team wants to roll in their cards and they have Jim Rice and Reggie Jackson, Eddie Murray and Ken Singleton, guys like that, just hammering away, there's just not a lot you can do. And that's what's happened at Toronto. It's a tough break. It's a shame here. Year-to-date numbers in our league: 381 games played. Hitting ticked back up again. 276 with a 4.30 ERA. We'll have games 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 if necessary to announce at the end of this video. As always, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. All right, baseball fans, this is the box score from Game 1, 7-6 Toronto win. What would happen would the Red Sox come back in game number 2 at home at Fenway? And the answer is No, they don't. It's Ross Grimsley versus Bob Stanley. Again, the Red Sox are sleeping in the early innings. They do get a 2-run homer by Fisk in the 7th. But in the early going, the Blue Jays get a bunch of base runners, an error, sac fly, ground ball. Bob Stanley's pitching decently. 8 innings, 3 runs. Only 1 is earned. But in the last 2 frames, again, the Red Sox, they get the tying run at first with 2 outs. Grimsley's pulled after 8 2/3 to get the righty-righty matchup of Victor Cruz against Carlton Fisk. He gets the strikeout, and oh my goodness, folks, the Toronto Blue Jays, they've won 2 straight in Fenway, and they're trying to rearrange the situation in the American League East, where Baltimore and New York are currently at the top. Game 3, we go to Toronto. Getty Lee's in attendance. It's Steve Renko against Jim Clancy, and the Red Sox find the guy they can pick on, Jim Clancy. Not good against left-handed batters. Fred Lynn, 2-run homer. You've got Carl Yastrzemski with a 2-run homer, and for good measure, Dave Revering with a 2-run homer, a triple and a sac fly. These plucky Blue Jays, though, they make it interesting. 7-4 game in the 7th. 9th inning, Stan Bonson's trying to blow the save. A triple, a double. But he gets Roy Howe to strike out and Rick Cerone to ground out to end that game. And yes, Boston does win a game, and the road team has won the first 3, which sets up Game 4 from Toronto. And oh my goodness, folks, it's the spaceman, Bill Lee, against Doyle Alexander. Must be snowing in the forecast because these hitters are frozen cold. They can't get anything going. Nothing is happening in this game. 9 innings go by and we have to pull our starters. They're not eligible to pitch in the extras. So Garvin, the closer, comes out for the 10th and 11th inning. Doesn't allow a base runner, strikes out a couple. The Red Sox, my road teams usually don't use the closer in these situations, so they go Randy Moffett, a good setup guy against a right-handed dominant team. He gets through the 10th. In the 11th inning, it's a 2-out double, then a walk, and then a walk to load the bases. It's still 2 outs, though. Damaso Garcia gets a single to walk the game off. Toronto actually put many more base runners on. 1 run, 9 hits, 5 walks, 14 base runners. How about Boston? The Red Sox today. 2 hits in 34 at-bats, 2 walks, 4 base runners in 11 innings for this incredible Boston offense. And this is very, very bad news for Boston. They lose 3 out of 4 against the Cupcake. And now the American League East standings, Red Sox are barely alive. They fall 2.5 behind the Yankees and Orioles. They pretty much need to sweep their opponent in the final week of the season. I think the Red Sox will play the Orioles, and the Yankees will play the Blue Jays. Let's double check that. Toronto is playing New York. Yes, New York's playing Toronto with a half-a-game lead on Orioles Red Sox. This could set up the way the 1977 season ended, where all the Yankees, Orioles, and Red Sox were separated by a couple games, and the Orioles and Red Sox knocked each other out, and the Yankees walked away with that division. Could set up that way. But thanks for checking this out. How about Toronto? Congratulations, Toronto Blue Jays. You won a series, and you did it in nice fashion, winning it 3-1. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.